Wayward Saga is an upcoming title from Rocket Cat Games. Currently in development, the game expands on the core action-oriented gameplay of Mage Gauntlet by adding highly celebrated roguelike elements, such as randomly generated dungeons, character progression, and permadeath. Even in its early stages, and despite missing some key features, Wayward Saga looks fantastic. The level of polish Rocket Cat brings to their titles is present in spades. I was lucky enough to be invited to play the early access version of the game. The game revolves around fighting through dungeon floors that become more difficult the further you go, collecting gold and usable items in the form of pickups, upgrading items at Ember Forges to increase your survivability and damage output, and of course, not dying. Any items upgraded in-game change the appearance of your character and will only stay with the character for that game, meaning that choosing which path you take when upgrading items can become crucial to success. 4 characters, the Warrior, Adventurer, Mage, and Rogue, will be unlocked when you start the game for the first time. 2 other characters, the Spell Sword and Cultist, will be available to those able to progress to a certain point in the game. Keeper Arway, Rocket Cat's designer, has informed me that people who buy the game in the first week will have these 2 extra characters already unlocked, as well as a few special hats as a bonus. From what I understand, collectible hats are purely cosmetic, as they were in Mage Gauntlet. The gold you collect in-game is also extremely important, as this allows players to purchase permanent active and passive boosts. These are different for each character. For example, the Warrior focuses on health and damage output, the Mage on energy regeneration, etc. Each of the 6 classes has a final top-tier passive bonus that applies to every character. These are very expensive for obvious reasons. Fortunately, this allows for great amounts of replayability given that grinding now has a purpose. The game is hard, very hard. In fact, it's so hard that Keeper has even gone so far as to say that most people won't even see the final boss of the game. Fortunately and unusually, after defeating a boss in the game, the player doesn't simply just continue on. Instead, a checkpoint is unlocked and players are able to continue on subsequent playthroughs. Obviously, this also resets in-game item progression, meaning that you're left with base items only. Typical of many Rocket Cat games, the graphics and music are amazing. It'll be interesting to see what changes are made in subsequent builds. MFI controller support has not as of yet been hinted at, but is something I'm hoping Keeper and team are looking into. Rocket Cat originally planned Wayward Saga to be free to play, with additional characters available as in-game purchases. Instead, they are now releasing the game in a premium format for $5. I've been assured that there will be no in-app purchases at all, ever. The game is planned for release in March of 2014. Expect to see even more polish and additional features being added over the coming month. I'll be streaming Wayward Saga each week over on twitch.tv. Be sure to follow the channel to be notified of when I broadcast. Thanks for joining me today. Stay tuned for more Wayward Saga updates.